Hi, it's Colin Coward from the Colin Coward Podcast. Do you know the symptoms of moderate to severe obstructive sleep apnea, or OSA, in adults with obesity? They may be happening to you without your knowing. If anyone's ever said you snore loudly, or if you spend your days fighting off excessive tiredness, irritability, concentration issues, it may be due to OSA. OSA is a serious condition where your airway partially or completely collapses during sleep, which may cause breathing interruptions and oxygen deprivation. Learn more at don'tsleeponosa.com. This information provided by Lilly, a medicine company.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Saquon Barkley, the NFL's reigning leading rusher. I'm also the NFL's leading husher. Shh, hush up back there. Wow, I might have just set the hushing record. Well, almost. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
This is Julian Edelman from Games with Names. As a fellow dude, do you ever get that not so fresh feeling in your butt? That's because you're probably using the dry stuff to wipe. Wet, extra large, flushable dude wipes get what toilet paper leaves behind in your behind. You wouldn't clean the tail end of your truck with dry paper towels, so why would you wipe with dry toilet paper? Wetter just cleans better. There are no more dingleberries, no more itch and irritation, just a deep, down the seam, confident clean. So don't fumble the ball with toilet paper. Stop being an a-hole to your b-hole. Drop the toilet paper. Available on Amazon and major retailers nationwide. Dude wipes, best clean, pants down.
Jordan and Jake.
I feel good. I'm excited, ready to go.
DeLome stops. He throws it across field. Guess who? Jordan Gross.
Here are your Panther Hall of Honor members, Jordan Gross and Jake DeLome.
Jordan Gross, Jake DeLome. It's the Jordan and Jake podcast, week 12. And Jake, I'm just going to cut to the chase. I'm in the offseason now. We lost the game last week.
Yeah, Jordan, I looked up and I saw the result and my heart hurt, my buddy. So
well, you know,
I'd love to hear a few details if you don't mind.
Okay, well, we lost by one touchdown, 28-21, -2 in the turnover margin. We were, and some critical PI calls on 4th down and on a 2nd and 20. Really was the difference in the game. You know, it's like I've said this multiple times on this podcast. My experience coaching high school football is just a little mini version of Dave Canales and the Carolina Panthers, because it's seriously just a less intense version of what's happening with Panthers. So you get to the semifinals of a playoff structure, Jake. All the teams are good, right? We're very evenly matched, -2 in the turnover, and commit some penalties, and you lose by 7. So, yeah, it was a sad night. We ended up 10-1 on the year. And seniors are, everybody's crying, and you got kids that have played their last football game ever. And but it was a great year overall. And, nothing to be ashamed of. But, yeah, definitely a heavy night. And now it's that week of the off season where it's like, whoa, everything seems to slow down, and you take a bunch of naps because you've been running on fumes. So, but it's good to talk to you today, buddy.
It's good talking to you. I guess, we're not going to spend a lot of time, but I got to ask a question.
Yeah.
Were the critical penalties, if this would be the NFL, would you be turning them in this week to the head of officiating to get true clarification?
I would say that the first one was, it was pretty, you deal like with high school football, there's no replay. We had a 7-man crew in the playoffs, which is pretty awesome. And there's
correct.
I just don't think that you see a lot of passing and a lot of one-on-one situations. So I would say that the first call, I was kind of arguing that it was maybe not correct. The second one was, if you're on the other team, you thought it was a great call. If you're on our team, you think that it could have not been called. But The officials did a good job overall. I've had some games where I wouldn't say that, but just, it's the way it went. It's the way the game went, man. It was a good high school football game. Unfortunately, we lost. So I'm moving on. I'm all in on the Panthers, as I've been, but now I got more time to focus. And on my Utes, we rarely talk about college football here, but we're 12th in the polls, knocking on the door of the college football playoffs, just so you know.
Well, that's awesome, Jordan. I know it's probably frustrated, heartbreaking for those seniors, and not only for you and the coaching staff, but the parents. And I think we saw it on the piece that they did on you that they came out about a month or so ago, and when they interviewed some of the players' mothers, just to see the effect that you've had on their kids on the field and off the field. So yeah, kudos to you for everything you're doing in that regard. It's a dream. I was lucky enough to be coached by a great high school football coach and a great person. But I can only imagine what it's like being coached by a former first-round pick All-Pro offensive lineman who's not doing it just to kind of, oh yeah, let me go do it because I know a little bit. You're fully vested. So anyway, as we're moving forward,
probably the
congrats on
best
that.
coach, probably the best coach that the world's ever had. I mean, if we're being
There's no
honest,
doubt. I didn't want to go that far, but look, me
let's
and you
just
said
call it
it.
like it is.
Absolutely. Yeah, but so the Utes are doing well, but you know who else are doing well?
Say it, Jake.
These
Say
Carolina
it.
Panthers. We rebounded from a bitter, tough loss, frustrations all around, and to go into Atlanta, division opponent, and have a great first drive of the game, get points, get a touchdown, and then kind of went off the rails for a little bit, Jordan. Just couldn't do anything offensively. Defensively, we're having much trouble stopping a great football player, Bijan, however you want to say it. I'll say this. This is not a good football player. He's a great football player. And then whatever happened at halftime, man, it sounds like Derek Brown might have had a word or two with some of the defensive guys. And then we came out in the second half, and man, it was awesome to see.
Well, I started the beginning of the game, then I had to step out for a while, and I'm famous in my house, Jake, for like pausing the TV and then or recording a game, and then when I come back, I mess up the remote. Not that I don't know how to do it, but I just like I'll always jump to live on
Okay.
accident somehow,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, "Oh no, he's gonna do it again," and then I do it. Well, I did it. And when we came back to live, we were 10-21. And I was like, oh, come on, guys. And then, as you said, Jake, man, what a performance. And listen, as a guy who has had a massive amount of rolled ankles and trampled ankles and lower leg severe injuries, our guy Bryce Young, like I've respected this young kid because he's gone through multiple head coaches, multiple OCs, multiple offensive lines, multiple running backs, multiple receivers, and he just keeps trudging ahead with a smile on his face. But the pain that I know he was going through, Jake, with his dang ankle in this game, and then getting it rolled up again and again, and to get up and not only win the game, but set a Panthers franchise record for the most passing yards ever by a quarterback. Jake, like he skyrocketed in my respect for him, watching him do his thing on Sunday. And I don't know if because you were in the booth. I don't know that you like the TV copy had such great close-ups on him just getting mauled with that ankle, bud. Like painful, painful again and again and again. And to know what that feels like and to think like you got to plant off that back foot and release the ball. Like wow. Just wow, man. I was so impressed by him. And I mean, I know you got to be as well.
Yeah, 100%, Jordan. I think we saw. And listen, as a rookie, and I think my number's correct. I believe he got sacked 66 times. Okay, so toughness was never something that I ever questioned with him, and he never shows any. He never shows any pain, right? And so when he got rolled up on the sack from Billy Bowman, that was in essence directly in front of us for our booth. We were toward the 10-yard line, near the end zone where we kicked the winning field goal. So that we were right in line of vision in essence, and certainly had the binoculars on him, and you could see, and he was in a ton of pain. And listen, this injury that he has, it's going to feel better in March. It just is what it is. That's the way it's going to be the rest of the year. It happens sometimes, right? So watching him, and then when he got up, and they were bringing a cart, and that's what I love more than anything. And I'm not so sure how much the TV, if they went to commercial break or not. He refused to get on the cart because they were going to go in the locker room and get it retaped. And he refused to get on the cart, and he went into the tunnel away from the Panthers tunnel. He went in that tunnel just immediately to get out. Now, maybe he hopped on the cart inside the tunnel, but he wasn't going to do it out in the field of play and in vision. And that, to me, I don't know if some people think that's kind of, I don't know, whatever. That means a ton to me, watching somebody like that. Like, listen, if I can walk off, I'm walking off. And then he came back. Andy was warmed up, ready to go. And matter of fact, Sharon Thorsland's doing a sideline hit, and Andy's warming up, helmet on, both chin strap strapped, and she's like, looks like Andy's going in. And you see Bryce come in from the locker room, and all right, I'm ready to go. And he battled it all game. But, man, I just give credit. One, coaching staff, I thought our plays were very well designed. I thought we got other people involved. I thought our other receivers and tight ends stepped up. And Bryce was dealing, man. You felt a trust factor happening during the course of that football game with the receivers and the young receivers. I'll say it again. Adam Thielen was a security blanket the last year or two. David Moore last year, the latter part of the year. That's security blankets because that's veteran receivers and a young quarterback. When you trust those guys, that's a bond. It's a deep trust that you have, and you feel comfortable. And you can tell he started to trust these young receivers because it's still growing. We're still so young with Coker, second year, Leggett, second year, T-Mac, first year, Jadavion, JT Sanders. You know, I'm just telling you, there was a trust factor. You just start to happen right before our very own eyes.
Jake, let's talk a minute about what it's like playing with pain like that. Okay, so I've always said that the closer to the ground, the harder the injury is to play with. Okay, so obviously for a quarterback, like a shoulder or something is far away from the ground, but that's for that position, it's difficult. But for your general football player, like plantar fasciitis or turf toe, that's the closest to the ground you can get. Like if you got a case of that, it's hard to play. Then you go to like a really rolled ankle. Then you go to like some kind of knee sprain. Then it's a low back or a hip. Then it's a shoulder, a wrist, whatever. Like the further it is from that being where you contact the surface of the playing field all the time, the easier it is to tape it up and roll. That's always been my stance, and I think it's true. I say that to say, Jake, a really bad rolled ankle, man, that like it's this conversation you're having with yourself in your brain where you're going, okay, I know that this ankle is still attached to my body. I know that all the ligaments and everything are still in place. So like good common sense tells me that I could play through this thing, but the pain and the anticipation of the pain, like, when I drop back, this thing's going to hurt, man. Like being able to put your mind somewhere else and function as an NFL quarterback is like, I don't think you can overstate how impressive that is. What do you think?
Yeah, no, Jordan, I agree with you. Listen, I've had a certain ankle injury that it's hard, man, and especially if it's your plant foot, your drive leg. And I'm assuming there was a pass or two, and it wasn't many because he was on, but I think there was one or two that there wasn't as much juice on it that he normally has, because I just think just fighting through that pain and getting that power generated from the ground when you push into the ground to start to generate that kinetic chain that goes through your body when you're going to be throwing a football. I think that affected a couple of throws because he didn't have quite as much juice that I know that he has. And we saw it throughout the course of the game. But just proud the way we played, and to get stepped on the fourth down, that's the loneliest feeling in the world when you're going down, getting stepped on. Like it's the
and
worst.
He got stepped on the bad ankle.
On the bad ankle.
Don't laugh,
Exactly.
Jake. That's so rude.
Well, it's not rude. I've been there and done that, and you're like, you've got to be kidding me right now. But yeah, just to watch that, and then our defense really to hone in. It's unfortunate Penix got hurt. It's out. It's now that he's out for the year. He'll have surgery. But the way our defense just kind of picked up, I think Claude Cherilus, you saw him getting more comfortable playing the linebacker position as the game went on. He started to react quicker and faster. Corey Thornton, undrafted kid, young kid out of Louisville, playing inside. Trev Mork, I think he always, he shows up, especially close to the football. You saw guys, we just kept making plays, man. And, two young rookies on special teams, Bam Martin Scott forcing the fumble, Princely recovering it. Yeah, it was a true team win. But yeah, the passing game, that was the biggest thing. And, when you listen to the locker room interviews and the player interviews after the game, it's amazing how much they respect the quarterback and how much they want to play for the quarterback, right? And that goes a long way. And this kid will always take all the blame. He's going to deflect any credit that wants to be given to him, and that goes a long way in a locker room. And I know he's already won over the locker room the last year or two, but it's he just kind of solidified himself. And now the thing is, okay, let's see if we can continue to grow pass game wise with our young receivers and our young quarterback. Let's see what this looks like. We get an extra day's rest, which we're probably going to need it, and then we travel across the country to face a team that's pretty darn good. And they've had their fair share of injuries, but it's a very good football team, and it's on Monday night. I mean, how awesome being on Monday Night Football.
Well, Bryce is going to have to take the same approach that most 75-year-old men take when they fly across the country, man. He better have that compression hose on his lower legs because that baby's going to swell up like crazy that long in the air, right? That's what I tell people. All those guys traveling on the plane have stockings on like they're retirees when we fly that far. Did you wear that?
I did have to wear that toward the latter part, just due to an injury or two. So yes,
Yep.
I did have to wear that. But you know what? That's about taking care of your body. And
Oh yeah,
I know we'll do a great job of doing whatever we can to get him ready to go because he's a tough guy.
I'm thrilled, Jake, because I get to go to this game. I'm calling the game. I'm working it. You're off. I'm going out there with Luke. I know our good friend Ryan Khalil's going to be there doing some sponsor stuff, which is awesome. So, and Deshaun Foster, I'm being told, is going to be there as well to doing some sponsor events and during the game. So I'm going to get to see some friends. And Jake, if we were to rewind back to August when we started doing the podcast in the preseason, said, "Hey, Monday Night Football game, will you take the Niners are 7-4 and the Panthers are 6-5 and tied for first in the division, man? What will you take that?" You would have said a resounding absolutely, right?
Yeah,
Like just the
there's
situation
no
we're
doubt.
in, Monday night. Like this will be a hyped up game, and there's the whole storyline, which of Christian McCaffrey traded away, which ended up through other trades with the Bears and everything resulted in Bryce Young coming to the Panthers. First time that they've faced. Man, there's a lot of cool storylines in a game to be excited about. The Niners, Purdy's back. McCaffrey's playing well. George Kittle, like all their guys, as you said, are active. So this is going to be a legit game, man, and one that the Panthers, I can figure out a way to win this thing, come back at home against the Rams, then finally get to that bye, Jake. Wow, like there's going to be some discussion that we're, a legitimate team. I'm just so excited.
I'm like you, Jordan. I'm so excited for it. It's an opportunity. You want to play meaningful games in November, December. Like you want them to mean something. And we were so lucky, especially all our time in Carolina together. Rarely were we ever out the playoffs going into the final week. Jordan, I think we went into like the last day a couple of times, to be quite honest. There's just something about it. And you just kind of grind away. And yeah, what better way than to do it on Monday night? All the players love Monday night. Everybody's watching. The world's watching. And you get to go out and do it in San Fran. And certainly there's going to be a lot made about the whole Christian situation, but that's a few years removed. But yeah, a healthy Niners team in essence in regards to their quarterback being back, right? And then Kittle's back. I think what he does for that football team. So they've had a ton of injuries on defense. So yeah, I think the biggest thing for us, can we get our running game going again? There's a great article on Panthers.com about Chuba, and he talks about, yeah, I'm starting to feel better. I probably came back too early. I thought that was evident when you watching. I know watching practice last week, I'm like, man, this guy, he's got to burst again. And I don't think you saw it for a few games, to be very honest. And he admitted to that. And I think you saw some of the plays he had the other day. I think getting him healthy, along with Rico, an extra day for Rico to continue to recharge that body. And I'm so looking forward to it, man. I'm jealous I'm not going to be there. But, I'm glad you're going to be there, and I'm glad Luke will be doing it, and I'll be watching it. And I just think it's going to be a good night. We're going to be celebrating my mom's 80th birthday that day. So
Okay.
we're going to celebrate with a win. It's very simple, Jordan. We're going to celebrate with a win.
She definitely has to wear compression hose when she flies on airplanes, like Bryce Young.
Oh,
I
God.
don't know if we're going to be able to get Luke Kuechly in the booth because he's going to be down there like so happy to see his best bud, Christian McCaffrey. He'll probably be wearing a McCaffrey jersey, a Panther McCaffrey jersey, and cheering him on the whole game. Those guys are tight.
Yeah, I'll let you have to deal with that. I have to babysit him for, about 3 or 4 months during the season. I'll let you deal with him this weekend.
Christian McCaffrey and Luke Kuechly probably lead the league in like the most uh, grown up women that are fans of them. They got to be like the two of the most coveted, handsome NFL guys of all time. I would
Yeah,
think
I'm not
so.
going. I'm not going that way. I mean, Luke's so full of himself. I have enough. It's
I'm
hard
just
enough.
saying it like it is. I know the way. I
I
know the
guess
way it
you're
goes.
right.
People like men ask me, "Ooh, did you play with Cam Newton?" He's like the big one that people. Ooh, did you play with Cam Newton? Did you play with Julius Peppers? And then women ask me, "Did you play with Luke Kuechly?" Oh, yes, I did. And he is handsome. You're right. I won't tell him we talked about that though, Jake. We didn't say though that Bryce did get NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Did you hear that?
Yes, I did hear that. Not surprised. Happy for him. Proud of him. And you know what you get with that? Do you know the prize for getting the NFC
I
Player of the
never
Week?
got any of that stuff ever, so you tell me.
Yeah, absolutely nothing. You get
Well, you
nothing.
get an attaboy.
There you go. Good. Attaboy. You got the attaboy on Sunday when you won the game. Attaboy. Let's go. Let's
Does
next week.
anybody ever have any incentives based on that?
I
Have you
would,
ever heard of that in their
man,
contract?
I would doubt that. But I'm not in that world, but I would seriously doubt that.
Do you have that incentive in your Panther contract? If you get broadcaster of the week, you get anything extra?
Well, it's usually when I get it 10 times during the season. I've gotten 8 already. So I've got
10,
two.
10 of them.
Yeah,
And that's just
I've
the
got 2
in-house
now.
vote, right? It's either you, Anish, Zoke, Eugene,
Right.
me. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, got it. The I want to ask you this, Jake. During the game, as a head football coach, I was thinking about this, the overtime, right? We get Tommy Trimble's big catch and run. That was awesome, by the way. He was so pumped up. Just happy for him to get that run after catch and set us up. So now you're first down, totally in field goal range. What was the discussion in the box out of you guys about when do we kick this thing? And then to
Okay.
hear Dave Canales asked about that, he said, everybody knows we kick that thing on fourth down. That's our routine. That's what we're doing. I found that whole series interesting because I was wondering how it was going to go down.
Yeah, same thing. And Jordan, we weren't sure if we won the toss, if we were going to defer or not, because that's kind of starting to become. And so we were waiting to see. We hadn't done it this year, and so like you're wondering. And then, but I kind of felt certain we would defer because of Penix being out. They weren't running the ball nearly as well. You kind of knew what they were going to do with Kurt throwing the ball wise. So that was one thing. But Luke and I talked about it. Let's kick on third down. But that's something that's the way I used to practice, right? It was third down just in case there's a bad snap. The holder can take it and throw it at like the tight end's feet or something like that. And it's you get an extra down. But in listening to Dave's explanation, he was like, well, we want Fitzgerald to go through his regular routine. Hey, we're kicking it on fourth down, things like that. So it depends on, I guess, how you grew up doing it and what you feel comfortable with and what's your proper process or protocol. And we stuck to ours. Now,
it was good coaching for everyone to know. Like, that's what impressed me when he said that, is that we all know we're kicking on fourth down. It's been discussed. Nobody's worried. Are we going on third? They're not looking at the coach. There's not like any me, you, me. What do we do? You know what I mean? Organized. I loved it.
yeah, I'm like you. Now, it would behoove you and our fans to, if you have the all 22 access that you can get, I guess, on NFL.com. I was standing up, and Isha's doing he's announcing in real time as Tommy Trimble's running, and Luke and I think we're pushing each other, like, just keep going, get in field goal range. Then all of a sudden, I see a blur, very Usain Bolt-like, from the sideline, and it's our tight end coach, Pat McPherson. And he is running in the white, sprinting down the field. So if you get a chance, try to watch that. That is great video, and I can't wait to see Coach McPherson. I didn't get to see him after the game to talk about that. But, man, that's what you love to see, just the excitement. Tommy just put his head down, 5 points of pressure on the football, using that stiff arm, and he wasn't going to be stopped, and he was able to, get however many yards after contact to put us in range where we just had to kind of set up exactly where we wanted to kick.
No, phenomenal weekend, and now riding into an awesome opportunity, a 2-week opportunity, really, Jake, to go out Monday night, primetime game, rolling into Thanksgiving week, and then have a great home game against the Rams, who are playing really well too. Followed up back at home, and then the bye. Just a cool stretch to be a Panther fan, man. Let's just keep it rolling, capitalize. I'll try to do well for you out there in San Fran, and then will I see you in, because I'm coming out with the family to the Rams game, not to work the radio, just to be there and enjoy. Are you going to be at that game?
Absolutely, buddy.
All
I'll
right.
be
Well,
there.
I'll see you soon.
All right. Enjoy Monday night, and I know you're going to bring us some luck.
All right, buddy. See you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Greetings from my bath, festive friends. The holidays are overwhelming, but I'm tackling this season with PayPal and making the most of my money. Getting 5% cash back when I pay in 4. No fees, no interest. I used it to get this portable spa with jets. Now the bubbles can cling to my sculpted but pruny body. Make the most of your money this holiday with PayPal. Save the offer in the app.
Ends 12/31. See paypal.com/promo terms. Points can be redeemed for cash and more. Pay in 4 subject to terms and approval. PayPal Inc. and MLS 910457.